August 2021. Well, after yesterday's BCC meeting, I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to start with, I can't believe Larry still has a job. If you watch that and get through it, let's just get right to the heart of the matter. And that's where Danny Glidewell brings up hiring this person. Danny, you look like the biggest crook and idiot we've ever seen. Okay. So Stan Sunday gets fired over creating a job for Bobby Martin. If y'all seen Danny's public post where Danny defends him wanting the wife beater as the problem solver in Walton County, because evidently, if you hadn't beat your wife's ass in Bayou Bill's parking lot, you're not really qualified and intimately familiar with enough of the county to do that. And the best part of all is when the citizen in public comments at the end of the meeting, Tabitha Howard gets up there and asks Trey Nick, wasn't he fired? And Trey goes, I don't know. I didn't work here then. I don't think she realizes that man was hired by Trey Nick. And what was crazy is it came out in Danny's post later after the BCC meeting that Gary Madison had been involved in the investigation of Stan Sunday's actions. Well, Gary Madison wasn't hired through any normal process. Danny says he was Trey Nick's aide, but no, he was his third assistant. That office never had three people until Trey became commissioner. And Gary Madison was hired, just like Scott, as a political favor. See, Gary couldn't get his job back. He lost it back in 2010. No matter what happened, and you ain't gonna believe this, you know who Gary's defensive lawyer was back then? That's right. Mr. Snack Bowl on his head himself, having some wine at your expense, running the county, who's not really a county attorney, Clay Atkinson. That was who defended Gary Madison. I got a picture of Madison in his orange jumpsuit, and we've got the article, and no matter what happened in court, the quotes from his wife are in there in the report. I don't know why he hit me after he beat her down in the parking lot. And I don't think she's around anymore and there's anybody to ask, but Gary, you're the worst kind of person that we want in this county, for example. Are you telling me, like Mike Atkinson, the only person he could find to run the jail was Corey Godwin? And the only person that Danny trusts to come for one, how does a commissioner's clerical aide end up being the investigating source with Larry Jones and Stan Sunday into some kind of HR designation? In that day-to-day operations, did Trey assign Gary to do investigations as an aide? Is that what we're doing now? This shit makes no sense whatsoever. And Clay used to be Gary's attorney. Go look in the records when Gary was beating that ass in the parking lot there. That's who defended him, Clay B. Atkinson. It's on the docket. Go check it out. Have you guys ever wondered why all these locals that are friends with them call me crazy? Well, if I'm crazy, how come none of these people refute my documents? Not one of these commissioners will call me a liar, because I know I got the documents that say what I mean. And I'm telling y'all the truth because it should scare you. This is what's wrong with America, is these five fools behind me. And you guys, we got to hold them accountable. I hope y'all are coming out to the Horsepower Pavilion this Friday to start talking about holding these fools responsible. So what was Gary Madison doing investigating Sunday? Is that the normal process? That two commissioners want him gone, so we go to the chairman's commissioner's aide, who's the fill-in, who's now not a contractor. Yeah, Gary couldn't have been hired when Trey hired him, so he didn't go through a normal process. And some other things, you ought to go watch that meeting and listen to what Larry says about hiring Gary. The HR guy basically gets up there and admits that there's a clause that lets Larry change any HR policy there is. So if Larry wants to do it, that makes it legal. But if the commissioners want to do it, they can't. these commissioners gave up the county to this corrupt staff run by this guy. And Larry leans over and almost licks all the commissioners right in the ass cheeks during the meeting. I'm here at your service. I'm here to serve at the board's pleasure. I'm here to drop to my knees and cover up skeletons as fast as I can, but I think Stan's going to tell. And what Stan will tell and he knows is worse than what Stan did. And that's why as the Walton turns is going to come unglued. And Boots couldn't do nothing because he knows his integrity shot. Barker and Glidewell are on the defensive, and Tony voted no for everything because Tony's being coached smartly by somebody. Tony knows this is ugly and illegal and breaks all the policies. There are no real policies. The HR guy stood up there and basically said, well, Larry can do anything he wants to. Okay, got it. And right now, we're going to get the wife beater to check out all the county to see if we're doing things right. Come on, people. Are you kidding me? Danny, are you really that stupid? Are y'all really think that we bought that? Trey may not even be living in his district. Gary Madison is not an internal employee because he was hired by other means and policies were probably broken. Danny called Gary Trey's aide when actually Scott Brannon filled the aide position. So who's the aide now? And Danny's called him his aide for 2 years. He hadn't been that. He just recently changed his job title, right? None of this is right or normal. How did Tony Corman get hired? What was the process who hired him? And what were those processes? You know, there's been a lot of people that ain't hired by any policy except that one the HR guy brought up that says Larry Jones can do what he wants. Go watch this meeting closely. Hey, commissioners, you know why nobody was there? Because none of the public wants to waste their time to come to a meeting that looked pre-orchestrated, pre-laid out, and like you don't care about the citizens. You can jump on some of these grenades and try to do some things, but it's really disingenuous. We need an internal investigation on corruption, and it ought to be start how Gary Madison got in Trey's office. We're going to file an ethics complaint on Trey. We're going to figure out where he's really living, what's going on there. And we're going to file the one on Scott Brannon. So, you know, we're just making sure we got it all right. This is a mess. And anybody could do better than that. Anybody. I promise you, anybody can do better besides recycling a 75-year-old HR guy as some kind of savior and direct answers of responsibility, integrity to the commission. So the wife beater is going to report directly to the five of y'all. What's he going to do? Beat down some women for you? Well, maybe that's what Boots wants, so he can text some more. I don't know. Maybe Mikey wants to get in on that. Who knows? Tony don't look too happy though. I don't think he wants any. He's just going to vote no. And that's the way it was on 11 August. You can't make this stuff up. You stay tuned for this because this isn't the end of it. And they're going to tell on each other and it's going to come out. And we need to stop this corruption. I read you some documents the other night. Why is nobody in the county or the sheriff's department claiming those documents to be false? Go to Unenforced Codes of Walton County on Facebook and look at that. Look at those documents by the sheriff and people. Would you want to be treated like that as a citizen, where if you told the truth and asked for enforcement, they'd spend your tax monies to try to sue you for telling them they have to do their job and follow the law and enforce it? There is no code enforcement in East County. There is no real HR policies. We're not getting the best people we can in government here. And we need an internal investigation on corruption with the governor. Let's get up a petition to sign that, an online petition to bring the governor in. Y'all call Matt Gaetz and ask him what's happening to your bay in the middle of his district, and ask him if he's going to have DeSantis hold these people responsible for breaking the law. Let's do something, people. Let's get organized. Let's spread this information. Let's watch the Alan Osborne show and ask your commissioners to publicly deny what I'm saying about the Sandestin drainage or what happened with Stan or what happened with Larry. Ask them to deny it. Ask them to deny the documents. They simply can't, or they would, but they know they're true. Y'all keep them straight out there in Alan Osborne land, because God knows they can't keep those cells straight. And if you can't be straight in Walton County, you might have a future in political office. Call Trey Nick and Scott Brandon and see if they can get you help started in the political arena of corruption. Scott's been in it since he was 19, and he can help you too. That's the end of the Alan Osborne show tonight. Y'all keep